Good morning, everybody who is tuning in live here at 7:25 a.m. This is News in Motion, but it is the Young People Takeover Month. So for the entire month of July, you will be not listening to Miss Deli, but instead you will be listening to the voices of the young people, aka Isaiah Jones and Lexi Williams. The dynamic duo is back, everyone. So tell a friend, grab your snacks, grab your breakfast, grab your pen and paper, because we have some headline news for you today. As you're coming into the room, whether you are tuning in through YouTube, Facebook, if you are a audio or podcast listener, we just want to say thank you for turning your dials to Hot 97 News in Motion, and joining the young people today. We have a lot of headline news. So I see y'all coming in the room today. Good morning to my auntie Tanya, who's tuning in through YouTube. Good morning, Dr. Antoinette, tuning in through Facebook. Good morning, Marion Jackson, tuning in through YouTube. And good morning, Camille Jones. Just a few people running up in here. So if you are ready for the Young People Takeover, make sure to leave a like, a heart, and comment. Let's go, young people. So with that being said, y'all know what we do here. Let's get ready for some news in motion.
News in motion.
Oh, hi. Good morning. Didn't see you there. My name is Isaiah Jones, known as the media freelancer here of News in Motion. And today is the start of the Young People Takeover. So before we get into any headline news, we have a special weather report for some of our viewers who are tuning in outside of Columbus, Ohio. So if you are in the Columbus, Ohio area, today's weather is going to be a high of 89 degrees, so perfect weather for a t-shirt and some shorts, with a low of 67. Still a little bit of unhealthy air out there in terms of air quality, with the air quality being 105. So be very cautious of that for our sensitive groups out there, people with respiratory problems, elderly people, kids with asthma. Just make sure that you limit your time outside. For our people who are tuning in through from New York, it is going to be a high of 91 today, with a low of 72. Right now, it is currently 74 degrees. For our people who are tuning in through Baltimore, shout out to Baltimore viewers as well. Right now, it's a high of 70. Right now, it is 75 degrees. It is going to be a high of 91, with a low of 73. And for our viewers tuning in through Miami, Florida, shout out to Pastor Alex. He right now it is 81 degrees with a high of 92, and a low of 81. So right now it's in Miami. It's the lowest it's gonna be. Make sure y'all get some shade under there, underneath the palm trees now. And finally, for our Houston viewers, right now it is 81 degrees with a high of 94 degrees later on and a low of 80. So that was just a quick weather report. But of course, I am not alone. Of course, I have my co-host with me. So, little sis, Lexi,
Hi, everybody.
we back with the Young People
Oh, we
Takeover.
back. They not ready. They not ready. We back. We back. We back. Okay.
And we better than ever. Now, remember, y'all, we went Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We're going to keep it professional. Thursdays. Y'all know the deal. So be sure y'all ready for Thursday. All right. So Lexi, I'm gonna let you go first with your headline news, and I'll be right back, y'all.
Okay then. Well, hey everybody, hi YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Hope your week has been as great as you are, like always. I am Lexi Williams, your special reporter and your youth ambassador for this wonderful place, News in Motion. Of course, thank you to Auntie Gail and the wonderful team behind News in Motion, like I say every time, because it is a great honor and joy to be working for and with them. So, how was your 4th of July? Come on, talk to me, talk to me. What did you do? Where did you go? Did you guys see Red, White, and Boom? What else? What happened? What happened? What happened? Did you eat out? Of course, me, I was inside. I was being an introvert yesterday. I was inside cleaning and everything. So I saw them because they were all over the place. Trust me, they were all over my neighborhood. So I got to see some things from the window. But it was just loud all over the place. What did y'all do? What did y'all do for the 4th of July? Let me know. Let me know. Good morning, Kim Edmondson. Good morning, Kalani. Good morning, Miss Rutledge. Excuse me. Good morning, Camille Jones. But what did we do for 4th of July? So, the truth from the youth, the Supreme Court's final ruling. So, here's what we know from CBS News. Biden's federal student loan program would have given up to $10,000 in debt for borrowers making less than $125,000 a year. Borrowers who took out Pell Grants to pay for college could have had up to $20,000 canceled. Kim Edmondson, fireworks, food, and family. That's a wonder. The 3 Fs. I'm for that. Fireworks, food, and okay. Ready Media said fireworks, food, staycation, and fun. Yes, absolutely. We love a good staycation. To continue on from NBC News, Biden had proposed canceling student loan debt during the 2020 presidential election campaign for couples who file taxes jointly and earn less than $250,000 annually. From the White House, since 1980, the total cost of both four-year public and four-year private college has nearly tripled. Even after accounting for inflation, federal support has not kept up. Pell Grants once covered nearly 80% of the cost for a four-year public college degree for students for working families, but now only cover a third. That has left many students from low and middle-income families with no choice but to borrow if they want to get a degree. According to a Department of Education analysis, the typical undergraduate student with loans now graduates with at least $25,000 in debt. So was this a good idea? What would you have done? Come on, Isaiah, and tell me what you think about this whole student loan debt situation. I mean, it's a little complicated, but the government isn't doing the best when it comes to keeping up.
Listen, complicated is an understatement. Because $10,000 in debt, no, no, and then you have to
I'm
pay that
relying
back.
on scholarships over here. Yeah.
No, no, I'm good. I'm good with my grants, my loans, my scholarships. I'm perfectly fine with all that. But thank you, Lexi, for that headline news. Now, in terms of uh, July, the 4th of July, this is being reported by Dallas Morning News. There was a shooting at a Fourth of July festival in Fort Worth, leaving 3 people dead and 8 injured. 3 people were killed, 8 people were injured yesterday at a 4th of July celebration in Fort Worth. Gunfire erupted shortly before midnight as hundreds of people who are gathered in the city's historical Como neighborhood for the annual Como Fest, a national 4th of July celebration at Fort Worth. So our condolences and prayers to the victims, and we're praying for those who are injured and wishing you a fast and full recovery. In other news, this is being reported by CBS. This is in the White House. Secret Service investigating suspected cocaine found in the West Wing of the White House. A substance discovered in the White House complex that caused a brief shutdown of the facility Sunday evening tested positive for cocaine soon after it was found, according to 2 law enforcement officers and a recording of a radio dispatch from that night. The substance was found in a common area of the West Wing, which houses the Oval Office and offices of some of the president's top asides and support staff. A senior law official told CBS News that the substance was found in a storage facility and a cubby usually used by the White House staff and guests to store cell phones. the Secret Service is launching a full review of how the substance got into the West Wing. Law enforcement are telling CBS News that they are going to examine consulting cameras and entrance logs to determine who had access to the space. Um, so somebody's using some white snow in the White House. Mm. Um, I don't know how they got access to that or how they even got into the White House. I didn't know that I didn't think the censors would pick that up, but hey, here we are. Here we are. Kim Edmondson said so many killings this weekend. I think we are in the 300s now in terms of mass shootings, and then we're only in month 6, or month 6 of this year. Marion Jackson says, "Wow, drugs in the White House." Listen, they're everywhere. They are everywhere. So we just have to be careful of you know what's in the bag and who has access to these things. Good morning, Gail Deli. She says, "Let's go, young people. It's Young People Takeover Month on News in Motion. Let's support the young people." Thank you for all your support. It truly means everything to us. And in terms of that, we have another headline news from CBS. A California company has received a FAA certification for its flying car. We are really in the future, yo. We have AI. We're getting ready to have flying cars. This is going to be history in the making. Like we done already went through a pandemic, so listen, the world is going through it. All right, the world is going through it right now. For decades, futurists have dreamed of flying cars with the little real world progress. But now, one company has gotten a step closer to making that vision a reality, receiving government approval to test fly its sports cars. ALF, a California based company, recently announced it received a special airworthiness certification from the federal emission, allowing it to fly the car in limited locations. The company's zero Model Zero Armada aircraft received their certification back on June 12th. The FAA told CBS that this certificate allows the aircraft to be used in limited purposes, including research and development. So they're still testing it to see any jinx or anything needs to be fixed or anything like that. Both Kim Edmondson and Marion Jackson said the Jetsons. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all are hilarious. Who remembers the Jetsons? That's a classic TV show. But Lexi, how do you feel about the possibility of a flying car? Just think about that. A flying car.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to need to see it tested about 110,000 times before I personally get on that flying car. Because what we won't do is that flying car go, Mayday, Mayday, and I go down. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So I think I'm going to leave it to Marvel and DC to have the flying cars and all that wonderful galaxy things. I'm going to let my imagination do its thing. But me personally, as fun as it may sound, I don't know what it's giving right now. So I need to see a developed plan, and I just need to see it fly on its own for a good while before I get on there. It's just, I'm going to need to see a lot more people involved in that rather than just a couple of them. I don't know how you feel, but
listen, I'm all for the flying cars, but like you said, if it needs to be test. I was gonna say test drive, but test flown, a couple times. What it makes sense in the context. Auntie Miss Gail Deli says the Jetsons. That was a show back in the day. And good morning to you, Miss Gwendolyn Wright, tuning in through LinkedIn. She is here for the Young People Takeover. So Lexi, if you have any more headline news, I'm gonna toss it over to you. I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you. So here's the second part of my student loan forgiveness plan. And hi, Auntie, it's good to see you. So what we've been talking about is student loan forgiveness and how Biden administration would have covered up to $10,000 to $25,000 in student loan forgiveness for certain families who qualified. So the Supreme Court's response from CBS News: the Supreme Court on Friday invalidated President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan, ruling that a 2003 federal law does not allow the program to wipe out nearly $500 billion in debt, which is a lot of money, but it's for a good cause. In the 6-3 decision by a court's conservative majority, derails a major campaign pledge from the president, denying relief to roughly 40 million Americans who stood to have up to $20,000 in student debt wiped away from under their plan. President Biden has a plan calling the on-ramp period. Biden then announced his administration will pursue debt relief through the Higher Education Act and has created a temporary on-ramp period during which borrowers will not be considered in default for late or missed payments beginning October 1st and lasting for about a year. Biden continued to say, "I will stop at nothing to find other ways to deliver relief to hardworking middle-class families," Mr. Biden said. "My administration will continue to work to bring the promise of higher education to every American." Chief Justice John Roberts authored the court's majority, saying that the law does not grant any secretary that type of power. I quote from CBS News: "Today we have concluded that an instrumentally created by Missouri, governed by Missouri, and answerable to Missouri is indeed part of Missouri, that the words of waive or modify do not mean completely rewrite, and that our precedent, old and new, requires that Congress speak clearly before a department secretary can unalliterately after large sections of the American economy," he concluded. Justice Elena Kagan authored the dissenting opinion, joined by Justices Sonia Sotomayor and Ketanji Brown Jackson, and summarized from the bench, "In every respect, the court today exceeds its proper limited role in our nation's governance." She later wrote, "The result here is that the court substitutes itself for Congress, an executive branch, in making national policy about student loan forgiveness. As I tell you what I think, let me know what you would have done, or what else we could be considering, who or what else. So what I think, student loan forgiveness should be continued to be fought for, hands down." This is education we're talking about, not just another case to push away. This is the future generation's education we're talking about. Research says it will take an average student or family 10 years to pay off their student loans. So all you're left to rely on is scholarships and a real good financial advisor. If you come from a wealthier family, chances are you can pay the price for college. And not saying because you're wealthier you don't have to pay, but it may not be as much as a burden for you emotionally and financially as it would be for others, but it all depends on your story. This could be the chance for students who are desperate to attend college or for a higher education but don't have the money to do so. Is this just another way the government is discouraging or disclosing higher education to specific students? So, tell me what you think, and so the truth from the youth part 2, because I already got another story for you. Auntie Gail said, "Let's help others find means in paying or getting canceled some of their student loans. Let's not forget the PPP loans that millionaires received and were forgiven." Exactly. Now, this is coming from the White House, and this is the president speaking on the current violence over the weekend, the 4th of July weekend. Coming from the White House, statement from President Joe Biden on gun violence across America. Over the last few days, our nation has once again endured a wave of tragic and senseless shootings in communities across America, from Philadelphia to Fort Worth, Baltimore to Lansing, Wichita, excuse me if I said that wrong, to Chicago. Today, Jill and I grieve for those who have lost their lives, and as our nation celebrates Independence Day, we pray for the day when our community will be free from gun violence. Today also marks the 1 year since a shooter armed with an AR-15 style weapon fired upon a crowd of Americans gathered for Independence Day parade in Highland Park, Illinois. In mere moments, this day of patriotic pride became a scene of pain and tragedy. In the year since Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, Highland Park Mayor Nancy Rodinger, legislative leaders, and numerous advocates and gun violence survivors have fought tirelessly to turn the pain of Highland Park and other acts of gun violence into meaningful action on behalf of all Illinoisans. This past January, they succeeded in banning assault weapons like the one used in Highland Park, as well as high-capacity magazines across Illinois. Their achievements will save lives, but it will not erase their grief. It will not bring back the 7 Americans killed in Highland Park or heal the injuries and trauma that scores of others will continue to carry. And as we have seen over the last few days, much more must be done in Illinois across America to address the epidemic of gun violence that is tearing our communities apart. It is within our power to once again ban assault weapons and high capacity magazines, to require safe storage of guns, to end gun manufacturers' immunity from liability, and to enact universal background checks. I urge other states to follow Illinois' lead and continue to call upon Republican lawmakers in Congress to come to the table on meaningful, common sense reforms that the American people support. Of course, I completely support. But Auntie Gail says, thank you for the report from the White House. Of course, of course. And also, way too much gun violence. I believe, absolutely, I agree with that. Auntie Kim Edmonds said, I don't think the court should take the role of Congress in this case. Exactly. I can see that point. I can see that point of view. But now here we go with your national days. I know you've been waiting for it. So even though it was on the 3rd of July, I figured I should mention on the 3rd of July, it was National Crown Day, also known as Black Hair Independence Day. So happy Black Hair Independence Day, even though it was 2 days ago. It's okay. We celebrate it all year. Today is National Apple Turnover Day, National Bikini Day. Whether you have a vacation to plan or you're just dreaming about it in your office while you're sitting next to that real annoying coworker, we're praying for you. It's okay. You can dream about that vacation. Go to your happy place. National Graham Cracker Day. Go outside, light a fire, make some s'mores. I love some s'mores. You don't even have to go outside. If you're an inside person, you can just put it in the microwave. Put the graham cracker in there first. Don't put both of them. It's like a hamburger. When you heat it up, it won't be too good. Then National Sylvia Day. Hey, Auntie Sylvia, I know you watching out there. It's your day. National Ian Day. Shout out to all the Ians, whether it's your first name, your middle name, or your last. National Workaholics Day. Go sit down somewhere. Please go sit down. Stop working. Just take a vacation. Take a vacation. Take your bikini, your swimsuit cover, and all that to go take a vacation. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Pet Remembrance Day, specifically for the UK. And last but not least, Work Without Your Hands Day. I know I can't say that because I need my hands to work. It's journalism. What am I supposed to do here? I don't.
Who
Without them.
does work without their hands?
Sorry about that.
What they gonna do? Type using their feet?
Don't start with me.
Or what they gonna type using their elbows? Like
it needs to be National Take Care of Yourself Day because some people's feet don't look too cute, but we're not gonna talk about them. We're not gonna talk about them.
And you was talking, you was getting a little personal on the National Workaholics Day. Sometimes taking a break is it's easier said than done.
Indeed, but you do it when it's necessary. Catch it.
But for sure you right on. For sure you right on.
Come on.
Now before we head into our inspirational message, I do have one more headline to report. How many of y'all are familiar with the movie Jaws? Lexi, are you familiar?
Okay. Don't judge. I know of it, but
okay. I'm gonna say I know that's like way before our time, but I'm sure you've seen the posters, like the movie posters, like
I've seen the posters.
You've heard the theme song of Jaws.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with that, I'm leading into the story of multiple shark attacks are being reported off the New York shores. About 50 sharks have been reported at just one beach.
See, you didn't have to do that. You did not have to do that. That's what? The very you decided to take Jaws and segue, and no. See, now you're making me scared to go in the water. I was just in the water not too long ago.
I'm just saying, you have to be careful. You have to be careful about, wherever beach you go to, you just have to be careful of the sharks, stingrays, all that type of stuff.
Don't start.
Just proceed with caution. Regina Shore says, I remember seeing Shaw's shark attack. Yes, this is happening in New York off the New York shores. About 50 sharks were spotted at just one beach. Just one. 50 sharks at one beach. 2 swimmers were apparently attacked by sharks off the shore of Long Island on Tuesday, a day after 2 others reported being attacked while enjoying the water at popular New York beaches. One person reportedly saw 50 sharks swimming together, or I guess that's called a school, When a
What?
bunch of isn't it called a school when a bunch of fish swim together, or is that something
On.
else?
Carry on. Chat, I'm gonna let y'all do it.
I'm just saying, but and with reports being shown that the sharks were beyond the deep end, and that that swimmers were advised to swim closer to shore. This morning, prior to lifeguards going on about their duties and authorizing swimming, they have done a complete drone patrol. And here in front of Field 3, they saw. See, I knew it was right. It's called. This is being reported on CBS. This is what CBS says. We saw a school of sharks that were approximately 50 sand sharks there, and New York. This was being reported by New York State Park Regional Director Charles Gorman. That's what he told CBS. So I knew it was called a school of sharks.
See,
I knew
uh,
that's what it was
look at me
called.
getting schooled today. Hey y'all, I'm not even gonna tell you what I thought it was. I'm getting schooled. Don't see what I did there? Punt. Yep. Anyway,
I see. I thought it was called a school of fish for just like one like specific species of fish. I didn't
yeah,
know that applied to
that
like
finally
all
clicks for
types of
me
fish.
because Finding Nemo. Oh boy, that makes more sense now. Oh boy, let's just put it that way.
You said
Yeah.
Finding Nemo. Okay, I can't with you. I can't. Mm-mm. But with that being said, we were going to transition into our inspirational message, which is you are. So this is just type. This is a self manifestation type of inspirational message. So I'll start off, and then Lexi, you can just bounce back off from me, with whatever you feel on your heart and mind. You are worthy of being loved. Yeah.
You are stronger than what you believe.
You are going to get that promotion that you're working for.
You are powerful and wear your crown high.
You are uniquely and wonderfully made.
No one can love you like you can, but you are loved.
You are seen through everything that you have been through.
That's good. You are a child of God.
You are a king or queen.
You are beautifully and wonderfully made.
You are a positive light in this dark world.
Mm. You are the voice when no one else can have a voice.
Mm. You are you are the smile to somebody's day.
Man, you make me run out of words. you are you are strong, you are powerful, you are beautiful, you are so many words, you are unique, you are more than any word can describe. You are undescribable. There we go.
There we go. You just undescribable, and you are all of these things because it is true. So believe that every time you look in the mirror, be proud of who you see, and just love who you see,
Exactly.
because you are all these things. You are loved. You are seen. I don't think a lot of people understand that you are seen. A lot of we see you, we understand you. Um, all the struggles that you go through, we see you, and we're proud of you. I know somebody needed to hear that today. We are proud of you, and you are a winner. You are a warrior. You are smart. Don't let anybody downgrade you, or tell you that you aren't this or you aren't that. Um, you have unique gifts and abilities that were given to you, so walk in your purpose and walk in those gifts. For Lexi, it's her journalism and her special days. For me, it's camera work. For I don't know if Miss Lori Wallace is on here, but for her, it's art and it's contemporary dance. For Miss Kim Edmondson, I know it's her real estate, and her singing at church. Um, for Miss Gail Dudley, it's bringing headline news. So you are amazing. You are just undescribable, as me and Lexi said. So, Lexi, you have anything to say off of that?
Yeah, and on top of that, I think being younger, especially being a high schooler, it's the things that we need to hear now more than anything else with social media and all these other things going on. It's a matter of so okay, I just watched this movie, Tyler Perry. It was Medea's Big Happy Family or a family reunion, something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He said it's not what they call you, but it's what you respond to. And that hit different when I watched that because I watched that movie so many times. But it's like when you go back and you think about that, it's like it's what you respond to. So you are beautiful. You are not ugly, but you are not these other things that people try to call you. And just look in the mirror and take a second and admire yourself for who you are. Just take a minute and be like, yeah, I am that girl or I am that guy. Now, guys, don't be taking it to the next level because sometimes you just kidding, just kidding. But you know what I'm trying to say, but still, like, encourage yourself. You have to encourage yourself because sometimes nobody else will, and you got to be stronger and just love yourself. Nobody can love you like you can.
Listen, self-love is the best love.
Facts.
It's more than, self-love is more than just, taking care of yourself, physically. You got to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally as well. And that that comes when, like, distancing yourself from some people. It's hard to do, but it's necessary.
Be careful, because that's a whole other word we're going to step into.
Exactly. That's another word for another day, because, as the guest preacher said, I ain't going to be before you long. I'm before you, but I ain't going to be before you long.
Before you long. Be careful. Don't talk like a guest preacher on here.
But Marion Jackson said, I love the young people's affirmations for the inspirational message. Isaiah and Lexi, you are both amazing, energetic, and inspiring. Thank you so much, Miss Marion Jackson.
Thank you.
Miss Tanya Williams said, you are worthy. Yes, you are worthy, because if God created you and you're still here, you still have brand new mercies every day that you wake up. You're still worthy. You're still worth, something in God's eyes and in other people's eyes too.
Right, exactly. And to wrap that all up, what you said, everyone on this earth has a God-given purpose. No matter what yours is, there is a purpose and a calling that God has put on your life, and you need to fulfill that. So take the time and make sure you're connected with God, and make sure the people around you will tell you when your stuff stank, because sometimes you got to watch the people around you, because they're not going to tell you really what you need to know. And God's like, I'm trying to get you away from the people. Just let me take the wheel. But sometimes, our blood like to let us want to take the wheel ourselves. But anyways, just know what your purpose is. Know who you are in God. And just don't let people call you by a name that is not your own. What God has designed you to be called. That's it. That's just it.
You know what? I thought of something that we could talk about tomorrow.
Careful. It's for tomorrow. Stay tuned.
I know. It's stay tuned, y'all. Y'all gotta stay tuned. Y'all gotta come back, for tomorrow. But I thought of something that, and I'm gonna leave with this, but before we go to our outro, you just said something that, be careful of God. I hear it now. God will take some people out your life or distance some people away from you because He hears the conversations that you don't.
Okay, we gotta go.
I'm gonna just leave y'all with that. So, with that being said, this has been the first day of Young People Takeover. Hopefully, you were inspired today. Come back tomorrow for the Throwback Thursdays. For the Throwback Thursday, we bringing that back for y'all.
We bringing it back.
So be prepared to have the discussions. But listen, we will see y'all tomorrow morning here at 7:25. Tell a friend. With that being said, I'm Isaiah Jones. This, of course, is the young ambassador, Lexi Williams. And we will see y'all tomorrow morning. We out.
News in motion.